already pre-registered.
Thank you, Your Honor. Betty Lieu.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor Chen and council members. My name is Betty Lieu, and I've lived in the Riviera for over 25 years. We all have been told what we cannot do with the Hillside Overlay ordinance. I want to talk about what we can do with the Hillside ordinance. As a former Deputy Attorney General at the California Department of Justice, I find that under the current law, cities can still establish objective development standards, such as height limits. I urge the City Council to update the Hillside Overlay ordinance so that it has lower height limits, upper story setbacks, and step-down requirements. You have the authority to act now to set these objective standards, and I urge the Council to do so. In addition to updating the Hillside Overlay ordinance, we also need you to enforce the ordinance. I believe aspects of the state ADU law are illegal takings by Sacramento under our constitutional rights without compensating adequately. The state is taking away the property rights of homeowners to view, light, air, and privacy in order to meet its statewide housing goals. That is wrong, and that is unconstitutional. I urge the Council to update the Hillside Overlay ordinance with objective standards and call upon the Council to enforce the Hillside Overlay. If these cases come before a judge, I believe that we will win. I ask you to please fight. Thank you.
Joseph Buck.
In the present circumstance, the Torrance Municipal Code, as has been modified, is strongly encouraging the runaway development in Hillside. It is destroying it rapidly. Unfortunately, when permits have been issued, it's a done deal and cannot be taken back. I ask in the choice, which I presented a couple of times, in summary form, that the city take a step to put things on hold, at least long enough to give the Planning Commission time to hold proper hearings to consider what the alternatives are that they can consider, and Torrance can consider, that can preserve, at least for another number of years, the special, unique character of the hillside. If they don't put a hold on things, it's done. You've let go the opportunity to make these, to consider and give careful consideration to what choices should be you can make that will meet and address the various needs of the city, the residents, and the state. Thank you.
Jennifer Adams.
I think she called out Jennifer.
May we speak out of order of people?
I'm Jennifer. There's a group of neighbors. We've put something together and we kind of have our speaking points. So are we able to go in the order that?
You're going in the order that she's calling you right now.
Okay.
Please proceed.
Okay.
As the mayor said, as soon as you step to the microphone, we start the clock.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Jennifer Adams from 130 Via Los Miradores in Redondo Beach, 90277. When people buy homes in the Hillside Overlay area, they do so with a clear understanding. There are rules intended to protect views, neighborhood character, and property values. Those protections are part of why these neighborhoods exist the way they do today. Residents have invested millions of dollars into homes here based on those expectations. But today, it's clear the ordinance is no longer functioning the way it should, and it has not been updated to reflect current development realities. At a previous Planning Commission meeting, we presented a letter to the Commission where over 130 of our neighbors expressed concern about the state of the current Hillside Overlay ordinance and associated building approvals. So at the end of this meeting, we are asking for two things. First, that the city begin actively evaluating options to update to the Hillside Overlay ordinance with more objective criteria to better protect residents. Second, we are asking for a formal community meeting with council and staff so residents can engage in a real discussion on this issue. Our experience so far has been a planning department that is unwilling to truly listen or address our concerns in any meaningful way. We need a real sit-down discussion where we can actually engage with the officials who represent us and make decisions about our livelihood. Thank you.
Diane Morcillo.
Hello. My name is Diane Morcillo. I live at 126 Calle Cabrillo, Redondo Beach, 90277. To be clear about why we are here, the Hillside Overlay ordinance is being bypassed. Right now, projects are being labeled as ADUs to avoid the very protections, like view and character reviews, that this council is supposed to uphold. These projects are not creating more housing. We also want to make it clearly understood that we are not asking the city to target or stop all ADUs. We know that state law limits what the city can control. Our point is much broader. The Hillside Overlay itself does not have strong enough objective standards. We know that any update to the overlay must apply to all construction to be legally sound at the state level. That is exactly what we are asking for. This is about strengthening the Hillside Overlay ordinance so it works for all buildings, including additions, remodels, and accessory structures, and continues to protect our neighborhood. That is exactly our point. Thank you.
I would suggest that the next person that the clerk comes up, to come up swiftly, and the oral communications number 1 ends at 8:01. Just want to let you know.
Do you want me to call out three
Yeah,
names?
call
at
out
one
like
time?
3 names so they got them in the queue.
Michael W., Brian U., Patty L.
Okay, sir, if she called your name, go ahead and step up to the microphone and speak.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members. My name is Michael Walkvogel from 126 Calle Cabrillo. You'll notice a large number of residents here tonight from the Hillside Overlay area. We're here because we care deeply about our homes, our community, and the character that defines this neighborhood. A major part of what makes our community so unique and what makes owning a home here so rewarding is having that little slice of a view. These views aren't just scenery. They are a primary driver of our property values and a huge part of the daily enjoyment of our homes. We are here to ensure the character of this quiet, lovely area is protected for everyone. For some of us, the current lack of protection from the Hillside Overlay ordinance became very real recently with a project involving a second-story addition labeled as an ADU. For neighbors uphill like myself, that structure would completely block views that have existed for decades. I've lived in my home, raised my children there, and have had that view since 1991. And now, with one inappropriate project, That view, a significant part of my investment and much happiness in my life provided by that view, could be taken away. Situations like this have made one thing very clear. The protections that we believed existed under the Hillside Overlay Ordinance are no longer functioning as intended. It needs to be modernized and updated to protect homeowners' investments and quality of life. Tonight, we're here to say we need the city to address this issue. Some of my neighbors have spoken before me and will speak after me to explain our position and what we are asking you to do.
Hello, my name is Brian Urquhart. I live at 217 Calle Madrid. We've repeatedly heard that city staff say our hands are tied when it comes to protecting our investments, but that's not fully accurate. We understand that state law supersedes conflicting local ordinances. However, under California Government Code Section 66310 through 66342, which govern ADUs, cities are still allowed to apply objective development standards like height, setbacks, and various aesthetics as long as they don't preclude the construction of an ADU. Torrance has the ability to protect our properties through objective standards in the Hillside Overlay within the bounds of state law, and we ask that you make an effort to do so. For example, the Torrance Municipal Code contains language that deserves immediate attention. Under California Government Code Section 66321, the state explicitly allows the city to limit attached ADUs to 25 feet or the height limit of the local zone, whichever is lower. However, Torrance Municipal Code Section 92.2.10 omits this whichever is lower allowance. By failing to mirror state-provided protection, our local code has effectively ceded to the very safeguards that California law intended for municipalities to keep. We're asking for a correction that ensures Torrance uses every protection available under state law rather than allowing our local standards to be less restrictive than the state itself requires. So to say our hands are tied is not accurate. We could at least mirror state law. Clarity regarding the law is a legal necessity for everyone involved. In recent Planning Commission meetings, we've observed staff struggle to articulate the complexities of state ADU mandates. At times, questions by the Commission were conflated and regulations were misstated in a manner that was unintentionally but fundamentally misleading to the Commission. This technical breakdown does not inspire confidence in our plan review process. And most concerning was the Commissioner's own admission that past projects in the Hillside Overlay may have been approved based on incomplete or incorrect information. This vulnerability is alarming, and we're not looking to assign blame here, but we want the Council to ensure that our local process is precise, and further, that we do not see more local control that is absolutely necessary by state law. Thank you.
Please state the next three names after her.
It would be Debbie Fend, John Stable, and Catherine Dunnican.
Good evening. My name is Patty Lagrilius, and I live at 171 Via Los Miradores. Other cities have navigated this similar hillside overlay situation while complying with current state law, and they have done so by relying on strong, objective development standards. There are other cities that have long maintained objective zoning and hillside standards that apply to all constructions, not just ADUs, while Torrance has never had a strong objective standards in our hillside ordinance. Other cities' strong objective development standards do not target ADUs specifically. They rely on broader rules that shape how buildings are designed and placed in sensitive hillside areas. Torrance can take that same approach. We also understand the city is concerned about housing element decertification, but recent examples brought up by city staff on why they have to be careful, like the Redondo Beach decertification example, involve entirely different issues, not objective development standards like we are discussing here. So while we understand the concern, it should not be used as a reason to avoid evaluating options that are allowed under state law. The city staff have even noted that they can call their contacts at the state to run ideas by them to get feedback before proposing them formally. So why hasn't more investigation been done by city staff? And if that investigation is happening, What exactly have they investigated? It seems like there has not been a meaningful effort on this topic by the city. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Deborah Gearing-Fend, and I reside at 127 Villos Miradores. We know there are real workable solutions available to help protect hillside properties. Other hillside and coastal communities use objective standards like upper story setbacks, geometric step-down requirements so property heights go downhill, greater building envelope control, placement standards, new construction height limits for all new construction, detached structure height limits, which Torrance did not recently update and could be further evaluated. We are not necessarily promoting any of these standards, but they are examples for the city to consider. These approaches don't stop development. They shape it in a way that reduces impact. They apply to all construction and can still work within the state ADU law. That is exactly what we're asking for you to evaluate. Thank you.
I'm John Sable. I reside at 341 Paseo Gracia. We have heard from the city that residents should bring forward ideas. And while we are willing and we want to be part of the conversation, let's be clear, it is not the residents' job to solve this. It's the city's job. It's your job. Some of us have full-time jobs. We pay some of the highest taxes in the city. We follow the rules. Some of us, it is the city's job to evaluate issues like this and bring forward viable solutions for us, the residents. We should not keep hearing that we, the residents, need to do more while the city delays action. We also want to point out that the Planning Commission has already raised concerns about the Hillside Overlay and the ADU loophole to the City Council and has asked this to be evaluated. We need you to do this soon. The City Council responded to the Commission by saying the city staff would hold a Hillside Overlay workshop. That workshop happened. Many of us were there, but what we received was a very brief summary of the existing ordinance, not a meaningful evaluation of options or solution. It was an embarrassment and a lack of effort and accountability on the city's part. We understand the current ordinance, we are educated, and we are asking all of you to get involved and give us some action, give us a solution. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kat Urquhart Dunican from 169 Via Monte d'Oro. A bit about me first. I'm a third-generation Torrance resident with grandparents who are very involved in the city. And I have chosen to invest back in the city as I've recently purchased a home in the Riviera where I grew up. And I don't want to regret that. In total, my family members own 5 primary residence homes in Torrance, 4 in the Hillside Overlay. So to add to what my neighbors have said, we also want to address something that has been happening in prior planning commission meetings. When residents raise concerns about the Hillside Overlay ordinance, we have heard city staff responses that shift the conversation to ADU law, saying things like, the city cannot apply new ADU regulations to just the Hillside Overlay area. That is not what we are asking. When it comes to the Hillside Overlay ordinance, we are not asking you to add language specifically about ADUs. We are asking you to evaluate and update the Hillside Overlay ordinance with more objective standards, which would apply to all construction to protect against the devaluation of properties. We know that those are 2 different things. We have mentioned these ordinances tonight, but we have noticed that the city staff are often conflating them when presenting information to the commission and council. And when those are conflated, it creates confusion for residents, for the commission, and for the council. And it makes it much harder to address these issues clearly. So we are asking going forward that city staff and council are clear and precise, just like local ordinances should be, about which rules are being discussed when you are speaking, because clarity matters, and this issue is way too important to be misunderstood.
Jeffrey, then Charlie and Mark.
Hello, my name's Jeff Dunnican from 169 Via Monte d'Oro. The homes in the Hillside Overlay area represent several $1 billion in property value. For most residents here, our home is the largest investment we will ever make. Because you have allowed the ADU loophole to exist within the Hillside Overlay, the cumulative impact can reach tens of millions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars across this community. For many people, this money is part of their retirement plans. It's their life savings. There's an election coming up. Some of you are on the ballot. There are a large number of single-issue voters in this community. Many are here tonight. People are paying attention to your actions. When we are motivated, we are educated, we do not want to keep asking for you to take action. You have already been asked by the Planning Commission. We expect the city to take this seriously and start modernizing and updating the Hillside Overlay Ordinance. So again, we're asking for two things. Begin evaluating updates to the Hillside Overlay Ordinance. Schedule a community meeting with residents, council, and staff so we can have a meaningful, action-oriented discussion on the issues. We want feedback. Where we can respond to city comments and where we can progress the Hillside Overlay Ordinance. Stop deferring your responsibility. Do not mess with our money. Do not tell us your hands are tied any longer. That is embarrassing. Do not tell us there is nothing you can do. Also embarrassing. Do the work. Do the work. Protect your residents and our investments. We count on you. We vote for you. Take action and do something. Do not sit up there smirking at us and laughing. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Good evening. I will waive my time tonight, hoping that the lady in need gets an opportunity to speak to the council.
The last speaker that signed up before the meeting started, Mark Schroeder.
Just so you know, there are still people who is signed up, so the city clerk is still trying going through the queue.
My name is Mark Schrader. I live at 346 Camino de las Colinas, and I've appeared before the Planning Commission prior to the ADU thing. I didn't get a lot of satisfaction there, but the point I'd like to make tonight is I bought my house 30 years ago, and in the appraisal, there was a line item, and it said view X amount of dollars. If I take that, whatever that percentage was of my purchase price, and apply it to my current value, estimated, but close, that view is now worth $250,000. And to have the state of California, along with all the other malfeasance that goes on here, to take my $250,000, give it to somebody else, and then to have everybody that I've talked to, our hands are tied. Well, what's a guy like me to do? Who could I go talk to? If not you, who? Nobody nobody takes any action. You get a lot of yeah, we're tabling it for this month, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and nothing happens. I mean, if this happened to any one of you, and your property value was dropped by $250, I'll bet there'd be a lot more action than I'm seeing right now. I mean, you see a whole room of people here that are pissed because it's not happening to me right now, but I don't want to wait till it does. And you can do something about it. And I would suggest you get off your, you know what, and do something, because you've done nothing.
Okay, so that exhausted those who signed up. Now, I think anyone else who has not signed up, please step up to the microphone. You got 2 minutes per speaker. We got 3 minutes left.
Hi there, thank you very much. My name is Tim Donahue. I'm a resident at 135 Via Monte d'Oro. Thank you guys and people for your consideration, your time tonight. I'm one of the lucky winners of the ADU lottery. I just found out 7 or 8 days ago that the person in front of me is building a second-story ADU right smack in the middle of the view that my house has enjoyed for 70-plus years. And I understand that there's nothing that really can be done, and the state has these strong laws. My question for everybody here tonight is, what is the process that we as citizens would need to go through to strengthen the Hillside Overlay to add more objective language and standards? I'm not aware, so I'm hoping maybe you can guide me. Is that the sort of thing that the city or the planning division will take up? Or is this something that the citizens need to figure out on their own and then come to you with suggestions? Can somebody guide me on that?
Sir, you're taking up other people's time. Give your comments so someone else can.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I had 2 minutes.
I'm saying we're not responding. This is oral communication. You say something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I saw on a thing there that you could respond to questions. It said earlier on the thing.
If there's a clarification, we're trying to understand.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was just trying to ask a question. So no questions tonight. Okay. Could anybody tell me who I could talk to at city staff to get my question answered?
City staff is here. I mean,
Your Honor, through public comment, council can direct staff for follow-up action. So the public is speaking to the staff. Thank you.
I'm sorry, what was the answer on that?
Sir, you are addressing the city council and staff by your comments.
So if you have questions, you could come to Community Development Department.
Okay.
Michelle Ramirez is right there.
Okay, there we go. That's okay.
We have 1 more minute left for oral communications. Sir, if you use up the 1 minute, that is it. Ma'am, sorry. Right?
And then shut them down, right? You know, one of the previous speakers talked about the smirking going on, and I've been sitting over here watching it for quite some time.
Be able to say something because I've been sitting here this whole meeting, and what I have
You know what?
to say is
Have my minute. Have my minute,
Go,
please, ma'am.
okay.
Okay, thank
Go
you.
ahead.
You know what? I've been sleeping outside on the streets, and these people want to protect their homes. Good. I hope you get a chance. But I'm not getting to protect myself, right? And I'm pooping outside on their homes. I'm sorry. I have no bathroom, nowhere to go. I would love to. They took my service dog of 8 years the other night. You know, my name is Addie. I do have social media. You could follow me on my journey. It's been horrible. It's been horrible. I lost my camper. I'm not used to this. I was working out. I've been a member here, right? I go to El Camino. I'm a student at El Camino Community College. I've been in and out of here since I was 9. They say my birthday is 1980. This isn't fair and it's not right. I'm not comfortable. Coyotes run around my head. I don't like it. I don't take drugs. I don't take fentanyl. The only help that I've been offered is to go into a shelter where there's fentanyl use, where I don't take fentanyl. I don't use it. I could die. I don't want to be around that or subjected to that. I'm not comfortable with that. That's my life, and I value that. And so I've been laying out here, you know, and, you know, I'm sad they took my dog. I really am, but his legs were tired. He's fucking 10. I've had him 8 years. And so he's laying now in Carson Humane Society, and I just like a little mercy, right? I don't know what to do. I've lost weight. I've been eating maybe 300 calories of protein shakes if I'm lucky. Like this non-plant-based. I don't really eat meat. I mean, I would like not to, but maybe to save my life, I might eat a taco from Jack in the Box or something. But here's this, you know, I'm trying to survive on this. I have no ATP. There's no way for me to get up and go try to get a job. I'm exhausted, laying in the sun. And I was drugged to the jail. And they cut my clothes off of me, off of my body. She said she wanted to cut my pretty little things off of me. I guess she didn't like my outfit. And they just, you know, because I have nowhere to go. I know you guys
Ma'am,
value your home.
ma'am, your time is up.
Where am I supposed to go if I don't have any money? And I'm trying to go to school and better myself.
Okay.
I need compassion.
Okay. That concludes the oral communications, number 1.